I'm here to talk about this amazing man who was introduced into my life about a year ago, who has inspired me so much, and I feel so blessed to have had him introduced into my life and to see him inspire other people with his great moral character and his deep love for this country and what it once stood for is just amazing. I'm just so happy to see that so many people love this man as much as I do. And that amazing man is Phil Robertson, the Duck Commander, also star of the A&E hit show Duck Dynasty. I read his book called Happy, Happy, Happy about a couple months ago, or whenever it was released. I can't remember exactly. And it just changed my life for the better. It inspired me so much, not to mention on top of seeing him on the show Duck Dynasty, but just to read his book and hear his words more than he's allowed to speak on the show has just helped me so much. He has these rules for living happy, 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 and I've followed a lot of these rules, and I've just had a much happier life because of it. Rule number one for living happy, 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 he says to simplify your life. Throw away your cell phones and computers, yuppies. I've taken that to heart. I have not thrown away my computer or cell phone yet, but hopefully I will be able to in the future. But I have distanced myself from both devices a lot. My cell phone, I don't really carry it with me unless I really, really have to, unfortunately, but I usually leave it behind, and I ignore it most of the day, and not to mention that, like, hardly anybody contacts me anyway, so that's a good thing. As for my laptop and the internet, I've go on it maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks at the most. I've distanced myself a lot from it, and especially from stupid websites like Facebook. They're just horrible websites. They're just there for people to brag and boast about how amazing and wonderful they think they are and how they want everybody to think they are. And they just want people to lavish them with attention and compliments. And it's just terrible. Everybody's fake on there. Nobody is who they really are. And I've just had a lot of crap on that website, a lot of heartbreak and bad things happen to me on that website. I've had people bully me, and friends and family personally attack me because they felt threatened by something I had posted, even though it wasn't attacking them personally. It's just an overall horrible website. Nothing good from it at all. There's nothing good about it at all. And Phil Robertson said this amazing quote that just stuck with me. He said, "Don't ever tell people how good or great you are at something. Let them tell you." And Facebook is the opposite. It's all about bragging and boasting what you want people to think you are. It's just a horrible website. So I'm happy to be away from that and the internet, and I've just had more time. I've created this amazing bond with my pets, my dog especially. It's like Uncle Si and his hunting dog. And I've started to relearn a bunch of languages that I know a good handful still of. I've gotten back into learning French, Japanese, Swahili, and Italian because I already knew a great handful of those languages, and I was like, might as well just learn more of the language. I have the time now, and it's fun, and it's good to know a couple languages, it really is. Another rule, he says, is to learn to cook. It's better than eating slop. And it's so true. It really is. And I've come to learn some of my favorite recipes that my grandma made for us whenever we would go to my grandma's house and eat. And it's caused me to bond better with my mom. We have a great time in the kitchen cooking dinner and reminiscing about when her mom, my grandma, made this and how good of a dish it is. And it's fun. It's fun, and it's good to learn things, especially learning how to take care of yourself. Another rule is that I really like is don't let your grandkids grow up to be nerds. And what he means by that is so many kids today are just stuck in front of the computer. They do nothing else. They're just in front of the computer, whether it's on Facebook or playing video games or just doing pointless crap on the computer. They don't know how to do anything really. And I remember my childhood, my dad was teaching me how to maintain a car, how to fix the sewage pipes, how to fix a faucet, how to retile a bathroom, how to build a rabbit hutch, how to build a fence, how to maintain a garden, grow a garden. It, my mom, taught me a bunch of other stuff too. And the children today, they don't know anything. They're just in front of their computers all day long doing pointless stuff, and it's really sad. So I really like that he says that. And another rule he has is never sell yourself short. You never know, you might become a millionaire, which is what happened with him. And that's inspired me to stop doubting myself and listening to the little demons on my shoulder telling me that what I'm doing is a waste of time. Nobody's gonna like it. Nobody will care. And I just do it now just for my own pleasure. Even if nobody ever sees it, I just do it, and like you said, you never know. You never know. Something good might happen out of it other than your own happiness. Another rule is learn to forgive. Life's a lot easier that way. That is so true. It's taken me a long time to forgive certain things that have happened in my life. And my life has just been so much happier because of it. It really is. It's just letting go, finding peace, and moving on. Letting go of all the anger and bitterness is just made my life so much more peaceful and happier. So forgiving is a really good thing to do. No matter how painful it is, you have to let go. You have to, or else it's just bad on your soul. You just have to forgive and let go for your own sake, for your own happiness. Rule number 13 in this book is share God's word. It's what he asks of you. I'm not going to preach anything right here, but I agree with him there. If you can, and it's not going to piss anybody off, do it. Because there's a lot of good words that came out of the Bible and God. And it helps. It really does. It's helped me a lot. I've gotten closer to God. I pray more, and I've started to read the Bible a lot more, and it's helped me a whole lot. It's helped me to forgive and find peace and let go of things. That's been a huge help. Rule number 14 is read the Bible. We can still save this once great country. It's not too late. I agree with him. He really loves his country and what it once stood for, and he stands with the Constitution and the amendments. And he loves reading the Bible and quoting from the Bible. And I just agree with him so much on all that. It's just amazing. He's inspired me to do a lot better with understanding what our country once was and what it stands for, and not letting myself get fooled by lies that new leaders are telling us. Another inspiring, amazing thing about Phil Robertson is his deep love and devotion to his wife of 49 years now, Miss Kay. They met in high school and were married right away, pretty much. She was about 15 or 16 and he was 16 or 17, and their love is so inspiring and amazing. They just are wonderful. They just don't give up on each other. They're always there for each other. They work things out. They cheer each other on. They're just so devoted to each other, and there's so much deep love there. It's so inspiring. It makes me cry happy tears. It really does. And the 4th season started off with them renewing their vows and having an actual wedding on their 49th anniversary, because they never had a real wedding. They just went down to a judge and got married real quick. And to hear them say their vows again and to speak about their love for each other was just so beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful weddings I had ever seen in my life, and I wasn't crying as much as their son Jep, but it really brought happy tears to my eyes to see a couple that's so devoted and loving towards each other and just willing to stick it with each other no matter how bad things got. They just worked things out and stayed together and fixed it, and they have this beautiful relationship now to look back on, and it's just, oh man, it's amazing. And they had their dark times early on in their marriage. Phil became wild and drinking, doing drugs, letting loose, being all crazy, and he would cuss at his wife, Miss Kay. He would call her horrible things and accuse her of horrible things, and he just one day told her to get out of his life because she was in the way of his bachelorhood. So she got her things and the kids that they had, and she took off, got her own place, got a job, and was taking care of her kids. About several months later, I believe, she came home to find Phil sitting in his truck crying, and she said she's never seen him cry before. He's a really tough man, and seeing him crying and pleading with her to come back to him. He wanted his family back. He had learned his hard lesson, and he wanted his family back, and she never left him, really. You know, she just did what he asked, but she still was devoted to him as his wife. She never waned or anything. She was always devoted to him, and they worked it out, and she called him a diamond in the rough. She had found herself a diamond in the rough, and it took a lifetime to perfect that diamond on their long journey of life, and all her dreams came true with their relationship. They're so devoted and happy together, and he's her hero, her best friend, her champion, and she's just so devoted to him, and they're just so precious together, and it's very inspiring to see couples like that who just don't give up no matter how bad things get. They just stick it out and stay together and work things out. If you watch the show, it's just so sweet how they are together. It really is. And it's very inspiring. If you're with somebody or you have somebody in your life that's very special to you and you truly love them, if there is love there, don't let it go to waste. Work on it. Really work on it and try to get things back to being loving and caring and supportive. Don't give up. I mean, just seeing them and how they didn't give up, even in their darkest time, they just were still devoted to each other. It's very inspiring. It really is. It's just don't give up. Just try to work things out. If there's love, if there really is love there, it can only go up from there, you know? And that's what they've taught me with their relationship. And it's a beautiful thing to see people still like that, who don't give up on each other, because love is worth it. It really is. It is worth it, and it's not going to be easy. You do have to work on it, and it's worth it. In the end, it is really worth it. And I do believe that everybody can have an amazing relationship like they do if they just hang in there and work out things. Especially if there's love there. If there's still love there. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Because it'll be beautiful in the end. Phil and Kay have shown that. It will be beautiful in the end. And for many, many years after the dark time. You just got to stick in there and hold on. Don't give up. The whole Robertson family is just amazing. They get along so well. They don't swear. And if there's any fighting, they forgive each other, you know, let it go, laugh about it, move on, and they all sit down at the dinner table, say prayers, thank God for all their blessings that day, and eat together and just bond. And it's really great to see that, and I think that's what America really needs right now. Not a political solution. We don't need a political solution. We need to see people like the Robertson family, people who love each other, are there for each other, help each other out, and who have good, strong morals and a strong faith. I have not heard one thing out of Phil Robertson's mouth that I didn't agree with and that upset me. There's nothing he has said that has upset me. I agree with everything he says, and the more I hear him talk, the more I love him, and the more he inspires me, and the more I look up to him as this amazing man that he is. And I'm not gonna lie, if he ran for president, he has definitely got my vote. I don't have to think about it for 1 second. I would so vote for that man. He'd make a great president and leader. Me and my parents agree, and some of our close family friends that we have gotten into the show Duck Dynasty, we all agree that when we watch the show, we feel like we're at home because, you know, this is the type of people we are, you know? We're not major rednecks like they are, but, you know, we have a lot in common with the family and stuff, and I can relate to Phil with his being barefoot all the time, running through the woods barefoot, and Jace, you know, jumping in the water catching frogs. That was me as a kid. I was constantly jumping in the water catching frogs, mud puppies, you know, fish, whatever. I was totally an outdoorsy girl. I loved being out in the woods barefoot, catching animals, tracking them, playing in the woods like I was some wild child that lived there. So this family is totally just like my family in a way, you know, and we can relate to them so well, and that's a lot of why we love them so much. There's just so much I've learned from that family from watching the show, like how to make muscadine jelly, and squirrel brains will make you smart if you eat them, and just how to be happier and to simplify your life and go back to living like the pioneer days. Be a pioneer person and just learn how to do things for yourself and be self-reliant and strong and not a nerd sitting in front of the computer all day. So with that all said, I just want to say thank you to Phil Robertson and the whole Robertson clan for helping to make my life happy, happy, happy. And you guys are so amazing. Keep being who you are. God bless you always.
Everybody happy, happy, happy.